The 2024 Giro d'Italia starts tomorrow, but before the racing gets underway, let's go find the latest tech and bikes.
Okay, right, we're going to kick things off up at EF Education setup. Now, the guys here have got quite possibly the coolest setup of any of the teams in the World Tour. Now, before we take a closer look at the bike, we're going to make our way around and check out all of the cool stuff. We've got the mechanics truck, we've got the soigneurs truck, we've got the catering truck, we've got the team bus. So let's go, because all the riders are inside riding the rollers because the weather's pretty pants. They've also got some new kit, which we'll take a closer look at. Right, let's go. Okay, right, straight into the team bus first. Come on in. It's not often you're gaining access straight inside the team bus. Loads of cool stuff going on here. First thing, check these out. Specially made for the race, but individually named with the cool team logo on here. Each rider got their own little headrest, so they don't get their spaces mixed up. We've got bags down here with spare kit in. We've got shoes dotted around the place. Coming up, let's see what's going on. Headphones, what else have we got? So back here, more riders kit, all the helmets lined up, shoes, wet bags, equipment, snacks at the back. There's also a shower and a toilet to make sure the riders are comfy, because this is kind of like their temporary home at the start of the race. All pretty good stuff. Let's see what else is going on. Right, onto the mechanics truck. But how cool is this? Electric, digitally keypad accessed mechanics truck. Let's go. Also, I've been let in on a little secret because I've got the code. Right, no looking, don't look. Is that not just the coolest thing ever? Inside here, the most striking thing is just the sheer volume of bikes and wheels. Also, it's so tidy. Massive fan of this. This is Helder's truck, the team mechanic. I think he's super proud of how tidy he keeps this. So the team is sponsored by Vision. They've got two different sets of wheels here. They've got the Metron 60 SLs and they've got the Metron 45 SLs. Metron being Vision's like top of the line race wheel. But because there's so many different wheels in here, if you look closely on here, all of the different wheels have got different stickers on. We've got a T1 and a T2 number. These ones are blue, so the T1 means that they're the spare wheels. T1 relates to this truck because the team's got a second mechanics truck. Then there's a little sticker with a white sticker and a 1 and a 2 on it. That denotes whether the spare wheels are in Team Car 1 or Team Car 2. And then if we move over to this side, we've got a T sticker, but it's pink. That means all of these wheels are the race wheels. And then we've got more white stickers. These times they go number 1 all the way through to number 8. These numbers relate to the number of the rider in the race. So a rider that, say, got race number 75 will use the wheels that are numbered up 5. That way the mechanic can keep track of what riders are using what wheels to work out sort of if there's any problems or if any components need replacing, and just generally keep track of things so the same riders have got the same wheels for that race. That was quite confusing to explain, but I think I've got it right. Right, while we're sheltering from the rain, let's take a little bit of a closer look and a quick run through of this bike. So the team are riding what I think are one of the coolest looking bikes in the whole pro peloton. It's the Cannondale SuperSix Evo with this incredible paint job. Cool fact, Dr. Bobby, who designs a lot of the paintwork for this team, is actually just 15-minute drive away from my house. There you go, cool fact. So the setup of the bike, Shimano Dura Ace Vision wheels, as we've already spoken about, but there's a couple of interesting bits here. For me, I really like the integrated one-piece handlebar from Vision. This is the Metron 5D. Real new handlebar this year. Comes in a couple of different sizes, which is quite cool. So not only can you choose the stem length, the handlebar width, there's also a normal size and an XL size, which relates to the size of the tops of the handlebars for those who like a wider platform, or a little bit narrower for those with smaller hands. Now the team have also deviated away from using the standard Shimano chainset here, so they're now using this from FSA. It's the K-Force crank, and there's two different options here. You've got the team edition, which is this one here, which has got no power meter built into it. So we've got these like beautifully machined chain rings. These ones are a 54 for the big chain ring and a 40 tooth for the inner chain ring, matched up with an 11 to 34 cassette. The 34 being the biggest of the options available on the Dura Ace. And the team are also using something called the Powerbox, which is FSA and a Power to Max PowerMeter, which is built in and incorporated into the spider of the chain rings, and then has the FSA chain rings fitted to it. Okay, right, final stop on the EF Grand Tour that we've been doing is quite possibly the coolest thing ever. It's the catering truck. Now, what's cooking today? And also, I want to find out about some of the cool stuff we've got going on here. So first thing, tell us what is on the menu.
So today, as you can see, the rain is falling hard. So we're going to do a really nice soup for lunch, sweet potato soup, and a shakshuka, which is like a Persian Middle Eastern dish where you stew down peppers and tomatoes and then crack some eggs in them and then put it under the grill, and you get these crispy, fluffy eggs in the rich tomato sauce. We got pasta salad, some nice grilled chicken, and we'll do some green salads and some couscous as well.
All right, nice. Right, guys, it sounds like you've got a busy day ahead and a busy Giro ahead of you.
Next was a trip to Visma Lease bike, where we had a tour of the mechanics truck, which will be a separate video soon, because we can't show you now, unfortunately, as it's packed full of unreleased tech. Ah, the temptation. But be sure to subscribe to make sure you don't miss out.
Okay, here we go. We've made it to the Lidl-Trek mechanics truck. Over my shoulder is a bit of a top secret bike and new tyres. But here is effectively what the tyre is. We've seen these tyres spotted around a few times being used by some of the best riders. They're the prototype tyre from Pirelli. The official name is yet to be released, but pretty excited to see what they're going to be called when they come out in the coming weeks. Other bit of exciting information here. The lock ring, the brake rotor, anodized blue, is made from titanium, the mechanics tell me, and it's from Kogel. Now, Kogel being the manufacturer of the bearings that are all replaced in all of the wheels, ceramic, in order to try and reduce the friction as much as possible, of course, and extend the service life of the bearings. Other bit of cool tech that we've got here, place this wheel down to the side, is check out these absolute bad boys. So this shoe is called the Trek RSL, and the technology that Trek are calling this kind of exoskeleton is the Metnet. Very original. Super cool, like chrome silver colour to the carbon fibre sole. Big cutouts of ventilation here, and I gotta say, they feel super light. Also, a string rather than the metal wire on the BOA system, presumably, judging by the design of this shoe, all in aid of trying to improve comfort and reduce any tight spots on the foot. How cool is this? We're at Jayco AlUla. This is the new giant TCR with a new colourway to what I've been familiar with. So I spotted these bikes out of the Tour Down Under earlier at the start of the year, and whilst the theme of the paint job is similar to the original bikes, now we've got this like chrome finish, which I think looks absolutely incredible. I just wish the sunlight was out to show it off in its absolute best. But take a closer look, and I really like the like chrome silver seat tube on the frame, and I like the fade between all the different colours. It's a thumbs up from me. But wait, there's even more exciting tech on this bike. So this is the bike of Filippo Zanna, and by the little sticker on the back here, R1, we can tell this is race bike and his #1 bike, not the second one that goes on the spare car. Exciting. We've got a new handlebar here from Cadex. This has got an absolute whopper of a stem on it, 140 millimeters long. And then the handlebars are a 39 on the hoods, and then that flares out to a 42 on the drops. I really like the look of this, and according to the side of the stem here, we have a reach of 72 millimeters, a drop of 125 millimeters, and a flare of 11 degrees. Check these absolute bad boy wheels out. They're called the Cadex Max 40. Max presumably relating to maximal performance. I don't actually know if that's true or not. So yeah, don't take that for being actually factual. Anyway, Cadex have got loads of different wheels to choose from, which they're supplying the Jayco AlUla team with. But what's exciting about this wheel, what makes it different, is that if I just flip this wheel round, you can see the spokes are all bonded into the hub. They're attached to the rim using spoke nipples in a kind of traditional method, but after that, the spokes are then bonded onto these large carbon fibre flanges on the hub. They look super cool. In theory, the idea behind this is to help reduce weight and increase stiffness, which is kind of like the main goal with a wheel. Also, their carbon fibre spokes look much wider and flatter than what I've seen before, so perhaps a little bit of new technology there. Also, by the way, the rims are hookless for those that are wondering, and if you look down at the rear hub, that is quite literally the biggest flange I've ever seen. That's so weird. I nearly missed this. Look how many tyres and tubular tyres we've got stacked away here. We got Corsa 26 tub, Corsa Speed 25 tub, Corsa Speed 25 TBL, Corsa Pro 28 tub, Corsa Pro 28 TBL. Literally tons of tyres tucked away in there. Check out this absolutely incredible bike. It's a brand new colourway for newly crowned African road race champion Henok Mulubrhan. Now, Astana Qazaqstan team are renowned for having some incredible paint jobs on their bikes, but this one I feel like is off the charts. The intricacy and details on every single aspect has actually blown my mind. And now that the sun has finally come out here at the Giro d'Italia, the colour is absolutely popping. We've got little elements of gold leaf incorporated into the bike. We've got the sort of ice effect on the paint, the colourway, the fade, everything about this absolutely incredible. We should have a little bit of a run through of the details and the spec of the bike though, because there's quite a few interesting things to take note of. So the frame is the Wilier Filante SLR. Top spec, we've got Shimano Dura Ace group set, Vision wheels, these are the Metron 60 SLs, Vittoria Corsa Pro tyres, these are 28mm wide. And looking at the back tyre, it appears Henok has been doing some skids. Which looks pretty cool. In terms of gearing of the bike, we've got pretty much what I'm going to say is considered the standard that most teams are running, which is a 40-tooth chainring on the inside and a 54 on the outside. And what's kind of also become the norm is an 11-34 cassette. Now, interestingly, whilst I just said this bike is put up with Shimano's top spec Dura Ace, the cassette is from the next tier down, Ultegra. Now, this bike's got a little number 2 sticker on the back, denoting that it's presumably a spare bike. So maybe that's the reason we haven't got the more expensive Dura Ace cassette, which is also ever so slightly lighter. I was actually speaking to the team mechanic just a few minutes ago, trying to get an understanding of how the riders are preparing and choosing their equipment setup ahead of the Giro, because I'm interested to see the different stages and terrains, what dictates the rider's choice of things like the gearing, be that the chainrings at the front, the cassette at the back, the wheel depths, the tyre choice, the tyre pressures. Now, like most of the teams I've spoken to in advance, all of this information is decided ahead of each of the days. So mechanics are given a list ahead of the start of each stage, which has got every single rider's preference on in terms of tyre pressure for the dry and the wet, wheel depth, depending on the stages. They'll use the shallow wheels for the climbing days and the deeper wheels for the faster days. But it isn't quite as simple as just the rider deciding that that's what they want to do. So the riders are given all the information and testing data that the team do themselves, and also that the brands and products that they work with provide to the teams. But ultimately, even if the teams say a certain product or wheel is the fastest option, if the rider decides they don't want to use it, well, they get the final say, which kind of makes sense to me. Oh, couple of other small little details. 172.5mm crank arms, the standard for pretty much the entire bike industry. And I've also spotted not only this team, but a large majority of teams deviating away from the Shimano standard brake pads. Now, lots of teams using pads which don't appear to have a cooling fin on them. So maybe they're looking to use a different compound to what's offered from Shimano and sacrificing that small cooling fin in order of a compound which perhaps is quieter and has a better performance in the wet. So all of the World Tour teams have got these absolutely hugely impressive mechanics trucks. Now the Bahrain Victoria's team, this one is brand spanking new ahead of the start of the Giro d'Italia. We can see on the side of the truck, giant Snap-on logo, Snap-on being their professional grade tool sponsor. Like most of the teams, the sides pop out to give the mechanics inside extra space to work on. And at the moment, they're busy working inside, getting all the bikes prepped and ready. The team using Merida bikes, of course. Number holders on bikes are nothing new. I've seen 3D printed ones. I've seen numbers zip-tied onto bikes. I've seen all sorts of crazy designs. But this one is an actual piece of carbon fibre, which is then bonded onto the seat posts of the bike. It's not clamped on, it's not got a band holding it on. I guess this is helping to reduce weight as much as possible. And since it's made from carbon fibre, well, that's helping save weight as well. God knows how much this thing weighs, but it can't be more than about 5 grams. Nonetheless, a small but neat little detail. On wax chain patrol now, Bahrain Victorious, what are we talking? Looks pretty oily to me. From a very wet day ahead of the start of this year's Giro d'Italia, well, it's over and out from me. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what bit of tech or bike was your favourite in the comments section down below. And, well, stay tuned for more cool bike tech stuff. See you later.